Look, I have had the DK Metcalf trade on my mind all week because looking back at the deal between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the outcome is clear. It has been 16 months since Seattle traded away Metcalf, and while it looked risky at the time, the Seahawks are the undisputed winners of this move. Winning a Super Bowl while our offense actually evolved makes this one of the most lopsided trades in recent NFL history. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city in the comments because we are a brand new channel pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every single person who joins this community helps us keep going. Let's get into it. It has been 16 months since the Seattle Seahawks traded wide receiver DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers, a move that initially left many of us questioning the direction of our front office. At the time, sending away such a high-profile playmaker felt like a massive loss. Yet looking back with the perspective of a championship season, we can finally acknowledge that the organization came out as a clear winner. We received the No. 52 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, alongside a swap of 6th and 7th round selections to finalize the deal. While Metcalf struggled through an injury-plagued season with 59 catches for 850 yards and 6 touchdowns, our own Jackson Smith-Njigba flourished, leading the entire league with 1,693 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. The bottom line here is that trading Metcalf allowed us to prioritize Smith-Njigba as our primary offensive weapon, mirroring his college production and maximizing his potential within our scheme. Furthermore, the draft capital we secured was used to trade up to the number 35 overall pick, where we selected defensive back Nick Emmanwori. He has already become a pillar of our defense, providing the kind of versatility and hard-hitting physicality that we desperately needed to round out our secondary. Seeing our team hoist the Super Bowl trophy validates these difficult roster decisions in a way that regular season wins simply cannot. The trade, once criticized, is now viewed as one of the more lopsided and successful maneuvers in recent memory. However, as we celebrate this resurgence, a lingering question remains regarding the long-term impact on our cap space. With Metcalf now in the first year of his 4-year, $132 million extension in Pittsburgh, how will our front office manage the inevitable contract demands of our own breakout stars like Smith-Njigba next season? The most shocking revelation behind the decision to part ways with DK Metcalf is how fundamentally it shifted the financial flexibility and offensive identity of our organization under Mike Macdonald. When we examine the backstory, the front office faced a brutal reality regarding the salary cap and the necessity of diversifying our attack to remain competitive in a league defined by speed and adaptability. By moving on from the massive 4-year, $132 million contract extension before it fully shackled our payroll, the team successfully avoided the type of restrictive cap situations that often derail contenders after a championship run. And the more I look at this, the more apparent it becomes that this transaction was a calculated chess move designed to maximize our long-term window, rather than relying on a singular explosive talent. Looking back at our team history, we have rarely seen such a proactive trade that yielded immediate high-level production from both the draft capital and the promoted internal options. Behind closed doors, the coaching staff likely felt that relying on one dominant physical receiver stifled the broader development of our system, preferring a more balanced approach that highlighted the technical skills of others. This strategic pivot allowed the offense to flourish, turning the departure into an opportunity for growth rather than a loss of production. We observed how the Steelers navigated his arrival, but for us, the focus remained entirely on building a cohesive unit that could withstand the attrition of an entire NFL season. By securing a pick that landed us a versatile defender in Nick Emmanwori, our front office demonstrated a level of foresight that is quite rare in modern professional football. We traded away a star, but in exchange, we built a championship foundation that appears set to dominate the division for many seasons to come. The legacy of the trade that sent DK Metcalf to the Steelers carries significant weight for our organization as we prepare to build upon our recent championship run. This is not merely a look back at a transaction from 16 months ago, but rather a blueprint for how this front office prioritizes sustained success. By moving on from a marquee name, we cleared the path for Jackson Smith-Njigba to shatter records with 1,793 yards and 10 touchdowns. effectively redefining our offensive ceiling. And I cannot stress this enough, the acquisition of Nick Emenwari at pick 35 was the masterstroke that solidified our secondary for the foreseeable future. With Emenwari now serving as a versatile anchor, our depth chart possesses a physical, multifaceted look that keeps opposing offensive coordinators guessing. This shift in personnel has directly impacted our salary cap flexibility, allowing us to maintain a balanced roster that is built to win in the trenches. As we evaluate upcoming matchups against our division rivals, it is clear that our ability to counter speedy receiving threats with Emenwari's unique blend of coverage skills and linebacker-like intensity gives us a tactical advantage that was simply missing before this trade. While other franchises struggle to manage veteran contracts, our calculated move has kept us ahead of the curve, ensuring that we remain the team to beat within the division. By maximizing the value from that Pittsburgh trade, we have successfully transformed a potential point of instability into a championship-winning foundation. Our path through the playoffs now looks significantly more manageable, as we possess the defensive depth required to shut down high-powered offenses when the stakes are at their highest. We have proven that smart, long-term decision-making is the true hallmark of this team, setting a standard that secures our position at the top of the league for years. Looking back at the trade that sent DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the move was clearly a masterstroke that transformed our roster into a Super Bowl championship team. By moving on from a veteran star, we cleared the path for Jackson Smith-Njigba to lead the league with 1,093 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns, while securing the number 52 overall pick to draft Nick Emenwari. The upside here is undeniable, as Emenwari has blossomed into a foundational defensive pillar whose versatility allows him to shut down speedy receivers or bring the physical force of a linebacker to our secondary. This is where it gets real, because the risk of parting with a physical specimen like Metcalf remains a point of contention for some observers. While he only recorded 59 catches for 850 yards and 6 touchdowns during his debut in Pittsburgh, there is a legitimate fear that we may have traded away a player whose best production is still ahead of him in that system. Analysts have pointed out that while we clearly gained an offensive spark in Jackson Smith-Njigba, the Dallas Cowboys actually managed to capitalize on the fallout by landing George Pickens, who subsequently racked up 1,429 receiving yards. Others note that Puka Nacua remains a significant threat in the league, who outpaced many established veterans this past season. Here is where I land on this. While the success of the deal is solidified by our championship trophy, suggesting that this trade is the single reason for the current state of our success feels slightly overblown. We were already building a complete roster, and while this move played a vital role in our evolution, it was just one piece of a larger machine. Regardless of the ongoing debates across the league, the results speak for themselves. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade signals a monumental shift in how our front office approaches long-term success, prioritizing high-upside youth and tactical flexibility over relying on a single star player. By trusting the process and effectively utilizing the assets gained from Pittsburgh, we have cemented a foundation that allows for sustained excellence under Mike Macdonald. Let's be real, this move was the catalyst that propelled our offense to new heights and solidified our defense with a versatile playmaker like Nick Emenwari. As Seattle Seahawks fans, we should feel immensely confident heading into this season, because the results speak for themselves. We possess a Super Bowl winning roster that is deeper and more balanced than ever before. The vision is clear, the strategy is proven, and we are built to contend for years rather than just a single season. The transition from DK Metcalf to the breakout performance of Jackson Smith-Njigba proves that our evaluation process is functioning at the highest possible level in the league today. We have transformed from a team reliant on individual brilliance into a cohesive unit that can dismantle any opponent. With Nick Emenwari anchoring the secondary and JSN leading the receiving core, the future of this organization is incredibly bright. Given the success we have seen with this personnel shift, do you believe Jackson Smith-Njigba will exceed his 1,993 receiving yards from last season? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We are still pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps us get there. Go Hawks! I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep analyzing those game tapes and analyzing every single play because the season is heating up fast. Your support truly means the world to our dedicated team here today.